darkness of the year comes upon us, and then Christmas, the festival of light, the celebration of a single birth, the celebration of a single star, the celebration of a single hope. And the light shineth in the darkness. Comfort ye my people. It is the first verse from the book of Isaiah in the Hebrew Bible, the book that speaks so fiercely against corruption and injustice. Handel's rendition of it, which we just heard together so beautifully sung, is so distinctive. If you check in Isaiah, you would see that the song sticks pretty close to the biblical text, which is maybe part of why the melody goes a little all over the place while trying to accommodate the language. To be honest, Comfort Ye has never been one of my favorite movements in the Messiah. Until this year, it was really one of the pieces I would tolerate, waiting to get back to the other parts that really take me on a ride with their soaring melodies. But this year, that opening line strikes me as never before, sung with such gentleness and assurance, which is why I asked for it in this service. Because this is just what we need this Christmas, our second COVID Christmas. With rising rates of infection and illness and mortality, again, even with vaccines and therapies, it is such a hard time everywhere. And it seems that no matter how careful we are, we cannot be careful enough. So much can go wrong, and does. To contemplate yet more time apart from family or friends around, it feels hollow and exhausting. It reminds me of how hard things were in biblical times. How the faith and hope that Jesus represented was even more powerful because back in the day, all lives passed through a veil of tears, necessarily. Everyone in Judea needed comfort, just as Isaiah tells us. This is what made the story of Jesus' birth, the many miracles that grew around the event, the hope felt by so many, so important. Like the people struggling then, I am grateful now, in the dark and cold of this year and our current events, for what gives me hope, for what gives us comfort, for all that reminds us that miraculous things do actually happen, even sometimes when we need them most, even sometimes when we dare not actually hope for them. So I hope for us all that this Christmas brings with it moments of brightness and joy, a sense of purpose to sustain us through the desert, encounters with sacredness that spark our souls like declarations from a choir of angels, possibilities that call us like a star in the night, comfort and warmth like a stable in winter. And it is in that spirit of timeless hope and faith, friends, good people, there in your homes, with friends, with family, on your own, members of our partner church, all of you, every one of you, welcome. Welcome here, welcome now, welcome everyone to this church. It is Christmas Eve. We gather to listen, to sing, to kindle light, to share it, to share in the mystery, the beauty, the joy of this holiday, because we are ready for rejoicing, and perhaps because we ourselves can use the help and the hope.
Most of all, we're here to remember the power of a single human being, even a child, even an infant. We're here to remember the capacity of many to unite around the power of a truth apparent to them all. We are here to renew humankind's external prayer for the most precious gift of all, peace. Peace grounded in goodwill toward all. There is so much we yearn for in the account of the Nativity. Let us open our minds and our hearts to take in the ancient yet ever new story of Christmas. O come, all ye faithful, let us begin with the carol. O come, all ye faithful.
from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And the taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. Darkness. Hear the angel choir sing, "Glory be to God on high." Look into the child's eyes and dive so deep within that pool of love that you finally believe in your own goodness. Don't give up on yourself, even when the days are at their darkest, for the mysterious star is shining again in the east, beckoning you to the cradle of awakening, calling you to peace. Please join in singing, "O Little Town of Bethlehem."
And there was in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over the flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of good joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace and goodwill toward all. Remembering that it happened once, we cannot turn away the thought as we go out cold to our barns toward the long night's end, that we ourselves are living in the world it happened in when it first happened, that we ourselves, opening a stall, a latch thrown open countless times before, might find them breathing there, foreknown, the child bedded in straw, the mother kneeling over him, the husband standing in belief he can scarcely believe in light that lights them from no source we see, and April's morning light, the air around them joyful as a choir. We stand with one hand on the door, looking into another world. This is the world, the pale daylight, coming just as before, our chores to do, the cattle all awake, our own frozen breath hanging in front of us. And we are here as we have never been before, sighted as not before, our place holy, although we knew it not. Please join me in singing Angels We Have Heard on High.
Angels
And it came to pass, as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let us go now, even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which is come to pass, which the Lord hath made known to us." And they came with haste, and found Mary, and Joseph, and the babe lying in a manger. And when they had seen it, they made known abroad the saying which was told them concerning this child. And all they that heard it wondered at those things which were told to them by the shepherds. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen as it was told unto them.
Perhaps it does not begin. Perhaps it is always. Perhaps it takes a lifetime to open our eyes, to learn to see what has forever shimmered in front of us, the luminous line of the map in the dark, the vigil flame in the house of the heart, the love so searing we cannot keep from singing, from crying out in testimony and praise. Perhaps this day will be the mountain over which the dawn breaks. Perhaps we will turn our face toward it, toward what has been always. Perhaps our eyes will finally open in ancient recognition, willingly dazzled, illuminated at last. Perhaps this day the light begins in us. Those of you at home now have a chance to practice your high school French. Please join me in singing "Bring a Torch, Jeanette Isabella."
From the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 2, verses 1 to 14. Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, "Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him." When Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. And they said unto him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel." Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared, and he sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search diligently for the young child, and when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also." When they had heard the king, they departed. And lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. Being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeareth to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt. And be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt. Of course, they never consulted us. They were wise men, kings, star readers, and we merely transportation. They simply loaded us with gifts and turned us toward the star. I ask you, what would a king know of choosing presents for a child? Had they ever seen a baby, even born to such simple folks, so naked of pretension, so open to the wind? What would such a child care for perfumes and gold? Far better to have asked one born in the desert, tested by wind and sand. We saw what he would need: the gift of perseverance, of continuing on the hard way, making do with what there is, living on what you have inside. The gift of holding up under a burden, of lifting another with grace, of kneeling to accept the weight of what you must bear. Our footsteps could have rocked him with the rhythm of the road, shown him comfort in a harsh land, the dignity of continually moving forward. But the wise men were not wise enough to ask. They simply left their trinkets and admired the rustic view. Before you knew it, we were turned again toward home, carrying men only half willing to be amazed. But never mind. We saw the baby, felt him reach for the bright tassels of our gear. We desert amblers have our ways of seeing what you chatterers must miss. That child at heart knows something about following a star. Our gifts are given. Have no doubt, his life will bear the print of who we are. Let's join in the first Noel.
precious birth, we also celebrate the miracles of all births in the past year and name those born to families connected to this faith community. For so the children come, and so they have been coming. No angels herald their beginnings. No prophets predict their future courses. No wise men see a star to point their way to find the babe that may save mankind. Yet, each night a child is born is a holy night. Fathers and mothers sitting beside their children's cribs feel glory in the wondrous sight of a new life beginning. They ask, when or how will this new life end? Or will it ever end? Each night a child is born is a holy night. Something holy comes into being. A new love is born again and again. Out of fear comes courage. Out of darkness comes strength. Out of loneliness comes togetherness. And so may the light continue, ever growing, ever spreading. One heart answering to another, mother to babe, father to child, friend to friend. Never ending, ever growing, ever spreading. Each night a child is born is a holy night. Neil Avishai. Aiden Noah Beauregard. Bronte Nunez Hamden. Briley Carr Diorio. Everett Clark Jesna. William Bradford Lassie. Sibley Wren Richards. Eloise Blue Sanford. Everett Allen Stager. Zoe Leah Von Hayden DeLorme.
Our Christmas prayer is Amazing Peace by Maya Angelou. Thunder rumbles in the mountain passes and lightning rattles the eaves of our houses. Flood waters await us in our avenues. Snow falls upon snow, falls upon snow to avalanche. Over unprotected villages, the sky slips low and gray and threatening. We question ourselves, what have we done to so affront nature? We worry, God, are you there? Are you there, really? Does the covenant you made with us still hold? Into this climate of fear and apprehension, Christmas enters. Streaming lights of joy, ringing bells of hope, and singing carols of forgiveness high up in the bright air. The world is encouraged to come away from rancor, come the way of friendship. It is the glad season. Thunder ebbs to silence, and lightning sleeps quietly in the corner. Floodwaters recede into memory. Snow becomes a yielding cushion to aid us as we make our way to higher ground. Hope is born again in the faces of children. It rides upon the shoulders of our aged as they walk into their sunsets. Hope spreads around the earth, brightening all things, even hate which crouches breeding in dark corridors. In our joy, we think we hear a whisper. At first, it is too soft, then only half heard. We listen carefully as it gathers strength. We hear a sweetness. The word is peace. It is loud now. It is louder, louder than the explosion of bombs. We tremble at the sound. We are thrilled by its presence. It is what we have hungered for, not just the absence of war, but true peace, a harmony of our spirit, a comfort of courtesies, security for our beloveds and their beloveds. We clap hands and welcome the peace of Christmas. We beckon this good season to wait a while with us. We, Baptist and Buddhist, Methodist and Muslim, say, "Come, peace. Come and fill us and our world with your majesty." We, the Jew and the Jainist, the Catholic and the Confucian, implore you to stay a while with us. Let us learn by your shimmering light how to look beyond complexion and see community. It is Christmas time, a halting of hate time. On this platform of peace, we can create a language to translate ourselves to each other and to ourselves. At this holy instant, we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ into the great religions of the world. We jubilate the precious advent of trust. We shout with glorious tongues the coming of hope. All the earth's tribes loosen their voices to celebrate the promise of peace. We, angels and mortals, believers and non-believers, look heavenward and speak the word aloud, peace. We look at our world and we speak the word aloud. Peace. We look at each other and then into ourselves, and we say, without shyness or apology or hesitation, peace, my brother. Peace, my sister. Peace, my soul. Peace. Peace. Amen. Our offering tonight, your offering tonight, is for the minister's discretionary fund. This is our annual effort to fund a critical part of our church's programming. This fund is available with absolute confidentiality, if desired, to assist individuals and families in need within and beyond our church. We have one fund, the pastor's fund, which is available only to help very strictly with food or shelter, and that is it. The discretionary fund is different. It has far broader applications. Proceeds from this fund can be used to help a youth or a member of the congregation attend a conference that they couldn't go to on their own, or help pay for new eyeglasses, or even a COVID test that will help someone be with loved ones at the holidays. This fund can help pay for someone's bus ticket to visit an ill family member, or buy someone something to aid with a disability, or help with an inexpensive eye tablet so that someone who is homebound can connect up with our online programming. For all these needs across the year, we depend on your generosity this one night. It is Christmas time, the season of giving and hope and love. Let's make sure we give tonight in ways that we know will make a difference in so many lives in the coming year. You can click on the link that takes you to the website, click on our giving page, send in a check, and designate it to the minister's discretionary fund tonight or tomorrow, sometime in the next few days. And thank you so much for all that you give and all that you do and all that you are. And now, as we begin our candle lighting here at church, we hope you are joining us at home, lighting your own candles. Run and grab them, you still have time. We hope that you are joining us at home, lighting your own candles and holding them together with us here in the meeting house. Even stretched across all our households and towns, the bonds between us are strong. Always, together we share one light. I will light candles this Christmas, candles of joy despite all sadness, candles of hope where despair keeps watch, candles of courage for fears ever present, candles of peace for tempest-tossed days, candles of grace to ease heavy burdens, candles of love to inspire all my living, candles that will burn all year long, candles, I will light candles this Christmas.
May we gain in love, and may we give it.
May we see the peace and goodwill we work for and pray for and honor this night spread far and wide.
Comfort ye, my people, and be a comfort to others, that all may know the wonder of Mary, the faith of Joseph, the joy of the angels, the eagerness of the shepherds, the determination of the Magi, the beauty of the night, the hope of the light, the peace, the promise of Christmas. Our closing carol, Joy to the World. Let's sing.